We despise boredom, literally. Just to avoid it, we've built hundreds of apps, video games, the smartphone, TVs, and even massive amusement parks. But perhaps on the other side of this emotion, there are amazing benefits waiting to be discovered. This is Juan Cruz from Inerize, and if you want to learn the true power of boredom, be sure to stick till the end. Everyone at some point in their lives experience boredom. It comes to us when we are waiting for someone who's arriving late, when we go to the bathroom but forget our phones, or when we are at a school lecture. We suffer from it constantly. But have you ever stopped and wondered, what's boredom and why do we run away from it each and every time we encounter it? We tend to think that boredom happens when we have nothing to do. But that's not entirely accurate. Boredom occurs when what we are doing doesn't interest us enough. Wikipedia says, boredom is a condition characterized by perception of one's environment as dull, tedious, and lacking in stimulation. A subtle but annoying anxiety always accompanies boredom. Since we're not comfortable and engaged enough with what we're currently experiencing, we crave to be doing something else, more fun and interesting. And this dynamic is the fuel of a whole industry, the entertainment industry. Nowadays, always handy mobile phones and apps like YouTube, Netflix, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok serve as boredom killers that can be reached within seconds. Before their invention, we had to endure whatever bored us or recur to reading shampoo ingredients. I know that a few can relate. Now we just grab that fine piece of technology residing in our pockets and open that app of our choice that will entertain us for a few minutes or more. We become masters at avoiding boredom. We use our phones right after we wake up, when we are eating, studying, driving, waiting, speaking, watching a movie, and right before going to sleep. When there's a slight chance we might feel bored, we automatically grab our phones to kill that possibility. But why do we avoid it with such tenaciousness? Unlike other negative emotions like fear, pain, and anger, which are caused by dangerous or annoying things in our environment, boredom occurs when we are not engaged with whatever is happening. When the circumstances we find ourselves in don't interest us, there's no other way for our attention to go but inside. Quickly, we look for something to entertain us just for the sake of avoiding being alone with ourselves. It seems that for our minds, being and life itself are not enough, are not satisfying. The German philosopher Martin Heidegger states this idea as follows: profound boredom, drifting here and there in the abysses of our existence like muffling fog, removes all things and men and oneself along with it into a remarkable indifference. This boredom reveals being as a whole. But on the other side of this abyss of existence, of the nothingness of being, of the bottomless pit of boredom, there are a few gems reserved for the ones that resist and embrace this feeling. If you thought that history classes were the epitome of boredom, think again. In the 1990s, Sandi, Mann, a boredom expert, devised an experiment in which a group of participants were given one of the most boring assignments ever created: copying by hand phone numbers from the phone book for 20 minutes. After the time was over, she handed them a creativity test to come up with as many uses as they could for 2 paper cups. When the results came in and were compared with people who were given the test without any prior assignment, the group showed more creativity than the ones that didn't copy the phone numbers. For the second part, Mann increased the boredom levels by changing the task. Instead of copying, this group had to read the phone numbers out loud. Of course, most of the participants found this the most boring scientific experiment ever designed. While the first group could at least wonder and entertain themselves with their thoughts, now it was almost impossible. After the 20 minutes passed, they took the creativity test and surprisingly came up with more creative ideas than the previous group. Mann's experiment proved something that she was suspecting for a long time: that boredom can and does increase creativity. But why? She says, when we are bored, we are searching for something to stimulate us that we can't find in our immediate surroundings. So we might try to find that stimulation by our minds wandering and going to some place in our heads. That is what can stimulate creativity, because once you start daydreaming and allow your mind to wander, you start thinking beyond the conscious and into the subconscious. This process allows different connections to take place. Contrary to what we intuit, when we are bored and disengaged with our surroundings, our brain doesn't shut down, but instead the default mode network is activated. The term may sound complicated, but it simply refers to the state of the brain at rest. when it's not focused on some external object or goal. Although we're not consciously focused on something, 95% of our brain is still active, subconsciously coming up with ideas that have the power to improve our work and lives. But this is not the only benefit. When we get bored and the default mode network turns on, a process called autobiographical planning begins to take place in our mind. This consists of thinking about our life as a story, craft how we want our future to be like, and build plans to get there. If we are constantly amused by stimuli like our phones, music, or TV, we lose the capacity to ponder about the bigger picture of our lives and purpose. Also, we might be letting creative plans that could help us achieve our goals to slip away and remain hidden in our subconscious. Learning to be bored opens up the gates of our creative mind and fosters new plans and goals for our future. And that's amazing and quite useful. But apart from these great benefits, it's also an opportunity for discovery. Let's rethink the definition of boredom we explored at the beginning of the video. Boredom takes place when we perceive whatever we are doing as dull or our environment as lacking. Even though what catches our attention are the words dull and tedious, the keyword in the definition is perceive. It's not that the situation we find ourselves in is boring, it's that we feel bored in that situation. Boringness is not something inherent to an activity, place, or object, it's something that we are doing. Since our mind doesn't find it worthy of our attention, boredom is a natural result. We check our phones when we are waiting for someone or the bus because we hold ourselves and reality as dull and boring. But nothing can be farther from the truth. To understand what I mean, grab any object you have close to you. Literally anything. You've probably seen it 1,000 times already, but this time I want you to really look at it. Appreciate its color, size, weight, the shadows it makes, and so on. If it's necessary, pause this video and take your time. We never take the time to be conscious of the details of reality, of its magnificence. As Sam Harris says, boredom is simply a failure to pay attention. It is a failure to pay attention to whatever is in front of us, because with enough awareness, everything is worthy of our contemplation and meditation, even boredom itself. So the next time you feel bored, remember that you have a decision to make. You can either follow your automatic response and grab your phone, or embrace the emotion and let the power of creativity, planning, and appreciation for reality emerge. If you accept it and perhaps even enjoy it, you may not want to turn back. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and comment down below what you thought of it. I also created a similar video a few years ago that you can check out here that I'm sure you'll enjoy. See you soon.